So UFC Fight Night Roman Dolidze versus Fluffy Hernandez took place. And Tony has died. I'm going to be giving you my reaction to every single fight on this card. Let's start with the main event. Fluffy Hernandez versus Roman Dolidze. Bro, this was like Rey Mysterio getting slimed the fuck out, bro. This was a terrible performance from Roman Dolidze. Now, I thought that the anti-grappling of Roman Dolidze, I thought this fight was going to go to a decision. I thought Fluffy was just going to melt Dolidze, lay on top of him. But every single time that Fluffy Hernandez took down Roman Dolidze, he just stood straight back up. I swear, that has to be like a UFC record for the most stand-ups in a fight ever, bro. Because I can't think of a single fight where that many stand-ups happened in one fight. But, dude, after the fucking second round, I was like, this is a slaughtering, man. This is not going to get any better. I was screaming to throw in the damn towel. This is something that I was kind of noticing was Eric Nixick was in Dolidze's corner. And I'm just thinking to myself, what is going on with these Eric Nixick fighters? They just can't get their shit together. Like, this guy went from being coach of the year to being the worst coach in the UFC, just making his fighters one-dimensional and just losing everything that made him good in the first place, bro. But we got a new Anthony Smith in town, Roman Dolidze. He did the ancient Anthony Smith technique called curling into a ball and praying you don't get finished too terribly. But, yeah, man, I don't know what Roman Dolidze's plan was going into this fight. He got beat on the feet because I think everyone that was picking Dolidze was like, okay, Dolidze, he's going to try to stuff the takedowns and have this fight on the feet. And if he can keep it on the feet, then he can win. And I still picked Fluffy, but I was thinking that this fight was going to be super close. Why is Fluffy such a big favorite? And Dolidze just showed, like, how is this guy ranked? I will say this, the win streak that he was on was pretty fraudulent. It was Marvin Vettori, Kevin Holland, and Anthony Smith. And so that's probably part of it, is that the win streak that he was on, he got 3 cupcakes in a row. And he just got destroyed by the dark horse of the division, man. Like, Fluffy Hernandez is the dark horse of the UFC middleweight division. I think him versus Chimaev would be a super, super interesting fight because I think he has the grappling credentials to stop the early submissions from Chimaev. And not just that, I think that he could, like, Chimaev has the cardio issue, bro. Fluffy is the cardio killer. He melts people. It was crazy seeing Merab in fucking Roman Dolidze's corner. And, like, how do you get melted cardio-wise with Merab in your corner? Like, dude, Fluffy was literally telling Dolidze to just punch him in the face as hard as he could, and he would, and it wasn't doing anything. He was taking him down whenever he wanted, kicking, landing knees to the fucking leg, throwing up submission attempts. I remember at the end of round 2, Herb Dean stopped the fight because it was the end of the round, and Fluffy thought he won. And I was kind of worried because I thought he might have got an adrenaline dump or something, and then it was like, oh shit. But he just completely destroyed Dolidze, bro. Dolidze had nothing for him. And I was just thinking to myself, I was like, man, who should Fluffy fight next? It's going to be Whitaker. It's going to be Adesanya, maybe the loser of the title shot. But I was thinking that you should do Fluffy Hernandez versus Rainer de Ridder. And the winner of that can get the next title shot after the winner of Imavov and Kaya. But Fluffy should be the backup fighter for 318. He doesn't have to cut a lot of weight. He's got the weird, his physique, he's literally built like me, man. I'm not even kidding. Fluffy has the exact same physique as me. And he is out there just destroying, Roman Dolidze literally looks like a fucking Roman statue. He is built like a Greek god, and he's just looking across the octagon at this fucking Mexican that he's just been eating tacos all week. He just fucking destroyed him, bro. Yeah, man, but all credit to Fluffy Hernandez. That was a hell of a performance. He is truly the dark horse of the division. 8-fight win streak. He should definitely fight for a title eliminator next, so if it wasn't for such like the big log jam at middleweight already, I would say give him the title shot because he's on an 8-fight win streak, kind of on some Bilal shit. You know, like yeah, the wins aren't super impressive wins, but it's still 8 wins in a row in middleweight in the rankings. So I would say give him the title shot if Imavov and Kaya weren't right there. And the title shot's going on, so we'll see how the rest of the division plays out. But yeah, man, credit to Fluffy. That was a crazy performance. The next fight on the card was Steve Ersk versus Ode Osborne. Dude, when Ersk got dropped in round 1, I was shook to my core, bro. I thought it was over. Because he landed such a good follow-up shot right after that, and I was like, oh, man, that's the fight. That's it. Steve Ersk just got slept by Ode Osborne. He really is. He really did fulfill the Reyes prophecy. But, nah, man. Steve Ersk, the title run starts now. He's back in the win column. Even though it was against Ode Osborne, that's a good start. Bro, I don't know how this guy had such a competitive fight with Pantoja. Because there were moments in this fight, like the second round was super close, and I was kind of scared that they were going to rob Steve at the end of the fight because of how close that second round was. But I did think he did enough. He landed better shots in round 2. He worked a little bit of grappling in. Round 3, he completely decimated Ode Osborne in the grappling, bro. But round 1, dude, round 1, I swear, bro, I was so nervous. Because when he got dropped, when Steve Ersk hit the mat, I was like, okay, that's it, bro. That's it. But I don't think Steve Ersk should fight another ranked opponent. I don't really know if beating Ode Osborne. I think he still needs to defend his ranking. If he does fight someone in the rankings, maybe it can be the winner of Tim Elliott and Kai Asakura. So Kai Asakura versus Steve Ersk, basically. I think that's a really good fight to make. And for Ode, I don't even know if you can, like, he has such a negative record, but he put up a good performance against Steve. So it really, if Ode Osborne won this fight, he was going to be a ranked 125er, man. And he was this close to winning the fight. So it's like, man, like, I don't even know, man. Like, Steve Ersk, I don't think I can pick him again. I'm going to be completely honest. Because getting dropped by Ode is bad, bro. Like, Ode lost to Lazy Boy, and Lazy Boy is terrible. You know? So yeah, man, I'm gonna be keeping my eye on Steve Ersk. I don't know if I can pick him in the future, but I'm glad he got back in the win column, defended his ranking spot. So yeah. And the next thing I want to say is I have to apologize to the UFC Apex, man. I have been a little too harsh on the Apex lately. I said the fights suck. I said the lack of crowds was terrible. I complained about how many WMMA fights they were putting on. I was saying the quality of the cards was mid. I apologize for everything I've transgressed against the Apex. I still prefer to have an arena, and I still prefer to have crowds and, you know, not as many ads as we get thrown on us, and not as like, I still don't like all of these things that make the Apex, but they're not as bad as I was making them out to be. So I'm gonna be the bigger man here. I'm gonna send my apologies to the UFC Apex lovers and the UFC Apex itself, the greatest sports venue in the world. But yeah, man, I have to apologize to the Apex. The next fight on the card was Angela Hill versus Yasmin Lucindo. Angela Hill, your time has come. It's over. It's over for you, buddy. Unk needs to hang it up. I think Angela Hill has not, she just gets bitched in every fight now. Like, I didn't think she won her last fight that she got with the robbery. She's on like a 6, if you count that robbery, she's like on a 6-fight or 4-fight losing streak, something like that. She just got whooped up again in the boxing. One of the judges gave her a round. I have no idea how any judge can give Angela Hill a round in that fight. She got whooped. When Lucindo threw, she just threw harder punches and was cracking Angela Hill. Took her down in the 3rd round, completely mauled her. Angela Hill stood no chance. So, yeah, man, I'm not sure what's going to be good for Angela Hill, but Yasmin Lucindo defends her ranking position against the Marauder, Angela Hill. So, yeah, that was a fight that happened. The next fight that was on the card was Christian Rodriguez versus Andre Fili. Now, one of these judges scored the fight for C-Rod, and I think that's kind of crazy because I thought Andre Fili won every single round. And I just think that C-Rod, despite being young, is an unk. He is basically the prospect destroyer, and that's his whole thing. He fights like a veteran, even though he is himself like 32 years old. So I should have picked Andre Fili in this fight because he did not fit the archetype that C-Rod defeats. If you have more than 3 fights in the UFC, you're going to beat C-Rod. And if you're a youngster up-and-comer, you're going to you're going to lose to C-Rod. Because C-Rod does a really good job of just, like, if you're well-rounded, you're going to beat C-Rod. But if you're really good at striking and bad at grappling, you're going to get taken down. And if you're really good at grappling but suck at striking, he's going to stuff all the takedowns and whoop you. But if you have well-roundedness to your game, you're going to beat C-Rod, and that's kind of what we discovered tonight is super. If you're well-rounded and you can kind of mix the martial arts super well, do everything good, you will defeat Christian Rodriguez. And Andre Fili, he's back in the W column. Old head still got it, I guess. I thought they were about to rob Andre Fili for a second. I would have been happy because I picked C-Rod. But at the same time, I don't like to get my robberies right. I like to get the pick right and the fight be scored correctly. But, yeah, man. C-Rod, I just don't... I think he's just going to stay at this level forever. I don't think there's any... like C-Rod going to the rankings. I don't think there's ever going to be C-Rod. I think C-Rod's just going to stay unranked. Prospect tester. You beat C-Rod, good for you. If you don't, goodbye. I think that's what C-Rod's going to be forever. So unless C-Rod starts to evolve his game, he's just going to be a win-loss fighter. So yeah. The next fight on the card was Gene Matsumoto versus Miles John. Bro, I don't know how they scored this fight for Matsumoto. How did they score the fight for Matsumoto? I seriously thought that close fights aren't robberies. This fight wasn't close, man. I thought Miles Johns, I thought you could give every round to him, bro. And I picked Matsumoto to win this fight, so yeah, man. This fight was a robbery. I thought Miles Johns landed better shots. He was cracking Matsumoto. Matsumoto really wasn't doing much in the rounds that he won, supposedly. And I think the judges were smoking a little bit of that devil's lettuce before they started watching Miles Johns. They just gave it to Matsumoto for no reason. I get Miles Johns is old. He's 34. He has a 7-2. He could still go on a fucking Marcus McGee ass run, bro. Give him his chance to do that. And they kind of just took that away. I feel bad for Miles Johns. I don't think he'd have to string a couple more wins together to get back in the win column, and he's kind of on the tail end of his career. So I feel bad for Miles Johns. And for Matsumoto, man, you didn't win that fight. I'm sorry. Back to the drawing board, bro. So, yeah. The next fight on the card was Eryk Anders versus Chris Duncan. This was always going to happen. Eryk Anders is old as fuck. He's washed. Chris Duncan, he only has 2 losses to the UFC. One of them's to Gregory Rodriguez. Eryk Anders is terrible. He got fucking destroyed. He got hit with a spinning elbow, started wobbling, and then Chris Leroy Duncan just got him against the fence. Landed some crazy combinations on him and put him out cold, and finished some ground and pound shots on him. And yeah, man, Eryk Anders, I think his style is just outdated. He's been in the UFC for so long, and that's what Chris Leroy Duncan was talking about in his post-fight interviews, that there's just so much tape on Eryk Anders. There's a way to beat him. The game plan is there. Any new fighter is probably going to beat Eryk Anders just because there is a way to beat him. Just follow the plan and you'll do it. So, yeah, man, that was that fight. The next fight on the card was completely terrible. It was Julius Walker versus Rafael Cerquina. Now, when I say it's terrible, I'm not talking about in terms of entertainment. I'm talking about in terms of skill. Because Julius Walker arguably beat Alonzo Minifield, and Rafael Cerquina was 0-3 in the UFC. And in that last round, Julius Walker almost got knocked out twice. He gassed out so bad. He was literally looking at the clock every 20 seconds. And he almost got fucking finished by Cerquina right at the end. Cirkina, whatever. He almost got finished by him at the end. And the rounds that he won, he didn't even do it too impressively. He was getting his takedown stuff. He was getting hit pretty hard. Yeah, man, I don't think I'm going to rate Julius Walker in the future. I thought that this guy is going to be a future ranked fighter based on his performance against Minifield. And now I'm looking at it like, does he beat Ibo Aslan? Does he beat Umar Sy? Who knows? So, Julius Walker kind of disappointed me in this one. I thought you were going to easily finish Cirkina, whatever. I thought he was going to finish him easily. And he went out there and had a very close fight with him, and he's not that good at all. So, yeah, man, I'm gonna be watching you, bro. But, you know, the next fight on the card, bro, I legitimately think this is knockout of the year. I'm gonna say it. I said it. I said the thing. I think this was knockout of the year, dude. Elijah Smith, 22 years old, by the way. He's younger than me. Elijah Smith did a fucking power bomb on this Toshimo Kazama guy, and I thought he died. I legitimately thought that Toshiomi Kazama, that's his name. We won't be hearing from him anymore, bro. Rest in peace, the dude. I legitimately was scared for this guy's health. I thought that he died. I thought that he was literally dead. I'm pretty sure he got stretchered out of the octagon. He was asleep for like 4 minutes. He went for an armbar. Like, so basically what the fight was, Elijah Smith kept beating him up, taking him down, and then he would do a submission attempt off his back, and then Elijah Smith would escape it. So then he went for an armbar, and Elijah Smith just picked him up and power bombed him. And he went out cold, and then he landed fucking follow-up shots right after he was already unconscious. I thought he died. He literally replicated the Rampage Jackson powerbomb KO. I don't even know, man. Like I keep saying, I thought this dude was legitimately dead. Like I thought he was passed away. But yeah, the fight was crazy. I have a lot of hope for Elijah Smith. I don't know if he's actually that good because Kazama is not that good. But you got a fan, man, because that knockout was one of the scariest knockouts I've ever seen. So, what a highlight for the fucking ages, bro. I think that's knockout of the year. I'm going to say it. So, yeah. The next fight on the card was Jocelyn Edwards versus Priscilla Cachoeira. Priscilla Cachoeira sucks, bro. She kept getting hit with the same shot over and over and over again and didn't adapt at all, bro. She literally just got hit with the same hook, and the commentary team was trying to scream, like, hint at her. DC was like, oh, she got hit with that hook again. You got hit with the hook. Like, he was trying to help her. Like, he was basically trying to coach her on commentary. And she didn't take the hint because she got hit with the shot again, and Jocelyn Edwards had a crazy finish for WMMA, man, which is awesome. But yeah, shout out Jocelyn Edwards. She's the real Edwards of the UFC. And Jocelyn, like that was a really nasty knockout. And I was really impressed with Jocelyn Edwards because I thought this was going to be a 29-28 split decision WMMA performance for Jocelyn Edwards. And she went out there and proved me wrong for sure. So shout out Jocelyn Edwards, man. That knockout was nasty. All power to you, man. So yeah. The next fight, this was the craziest 1 minute fight I've ever seen. Gilbert Erbena versus Uros Medic. Erbena drops Uros Medic in the first 15 seconds. Medic immediately recovers, gets back up, lands a knee on Erbena. Erbena doesn't take the hint, and then Medic just fucking flatline knocks him out and lands a fucking follow-up shot on him. And I was nervous for Medic at first because I was like, man, Medic had so much promise in the UFC, and it seems like he's just throwing it all away. And then he got dropped by Erbena, and I was like, oh, that's it. But nope. Medic bounced back, got a crazy fucking finish. Like, who was it? This was a really good card. Like, for an Apex card, like, I was saying, fuck the Apex. Nah, man. The Apex is goated. Yeah, you heard me say it. The Apex is goated. No, I'm just kidding. I still don't like the Apex, but I did overhate on it a little bit. So, it's an annoying thing, but it's definitely not, like, we don't have to go January 6th on the Apex. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, this was a crazy 1-round fight. And let's move on to the next one, which was Gabriela Fernandez versus Julia Stoliarenko. I think Stoliarenko is now like the most beaten WMMA fighter. For some reason, when she signed her contract, she got like a 9-fight contract. And so now she's 2-7 in the UFC. This was a layup for Gabriela Fernandez, which is crazy because Gabriela Fernandez in and of herself isn't really that good of a fighter. I know she beat Wayne Kong, but I still think that was kind of like a fluky fluke. But, yeah, man, she got masterclassed. Julia Stoliarenko, like, Gabriela Fernandez was throwing hands on her. And I honestly think that maybe Fernandez was maybe I was overhating on Fernandez a little bit. Maybe she can put a couple good wins together in the I don't even know what division. I think she's a strawweight? I think they're strawweights, but they're strawweights. But I think that she can put together a little run in the division. So shout out Gabriela Fernandez. One of my friends I know in real life trains with her. So shout out Roe as well, I guess. But yeah. And the final fight on the card was Cody Brundage. Don't even get me fucking started on this guy, bro. Cody Brundage versus McConico. Now, I think McConico won rounds 1 and 3. Now, round 1 was really close, and I was thinking about the fight while the rest of the fights were going on during some of the like fucking Burger King ads that they kept throwing on us over and over and over again, right? I was thinking about this fight, and I was like, maybe Brundage won the first round, but he did get dropped, but he did rock McConico, but he did have the control time, so it doesn't really matter. Somehow the judges gave McConico like all the rounds that he lost. And I just like, how did you lose to this guy, Cody Brundage? This was such a low level fight. McConico literally looks like a fucking Khalil Roundtree clone. So I was like rooting against him. Jamal Hill got robbed, by the way. Cody Brundage. How did you lose, bro? This guy was on the main card of UFC 300. And now he's opening up the prelims on the Apex, man. This is called the duality of man. But yeah, man, I don't know how Cody Brundage lost this fight. You could say robbery. I think it could go. This is one of those fights where it's like it could go either way. I personally scored it for McConico, but if you want to give it to Brundage, whatever. And so here are my picks for the fight. Oh, messed up right here. There you go. Now you can see it. I picked Fluffy to win. I picked Ersk to win. I picked Lucindo. I picked C-Rod. I got that one wrong. I picked Matsumoto. I picked Chris Leroy Duncan. I got that right. I picked Walker. I got that right. Elijah Smith. I got that right. Edwards. So overall, I went 10-12 on the card. But I didn't do that good overall in top all. Like, I got a lot of perfect picks. I still was like, even though I went 10-12, I still wasn't even like top 400 in the world because this was such an easy card to pick. The main event, layup, Ersk, it's an easy pick. Lucindo was easy. These were all easy picks except for a couple of, these are all, basically just picked all the favorites on this card. And it was a pretty easy card to pick, but I probably should have picked Philly. I should have used my pattern recognition on C-Rod and been like, wait a minute. This guy has never beaten anybody that has more than 3 fights. I should probably pick against him, but nah, I picked C-Rod. So that's my reaction to the card. If you like the video, like, subscribe, do all that YouTube shit, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.